when the first three major banks happened, SVB, Silicon Valley Bank being the first one, which at one point I believe was our 13th largest bank, it got gobbled up. The government, the Federal Reserve, started this bank funding relief program where banks could basically go to the Fed and then give them assets, aka their treasuries, because treasuries were at really low yields. And so if they had to mark them down to today's value, what really would have happened is they would have had to have taken losses. Yeah. So they were able to give the Treasury these securities in exchange for full face value. The bank funding program goes away March 11th. So all of a sudden we're getting these banks beat up. We're starting to hit the maturity wall. Debt is starting to come due. Occupancy is lower. And you've got these lease rates and income lower. So let's talk about commercial just as one big part of, or to kind of look at it and how it fits. Commercial real estate is not valued like residential. Commercial real estate specifically is valued on how much income the asset produces. So if the asset produces less income, the value goes down. What affects income? How much debt costs? So a buyer, as the debt rises, is unwilling to pay more for a property. They want to pay less so they can get the same return. So how this crisis is really starting to add up right now is these debts are maturing. These rents or leases are coming due and not being renewed, or they're going to have to be renewed at a lower rate. These banks need more reserves because the Federal Reserve is pinching them right now. And then Jerome Powell, he looks at this and he actually said, well, some of the banks are going to have to fail. So they know that this is a problem, and they know this can become a really big problem. When they went to Treasury Secretary Yellen and they said, hey, is this going to snowball into another massive crisis? She kind of poo-pooed it and said, no, it's manageable. But the stock market and other investors right now seem absolutely less convinced because that whole regional banking sector stocks are getting beat up. So to do some homework today, I called a couple local banks and I had discussions with them. And I said, is your appetite to lend going up or down right now? And what do you think they said?
They said it's going down.
Bingo.
100%.